Before we start today's show, today we want to give a big shout out to Buzz TV. Man, Buzz TV has some really good devices, man. Like this last year, they've come up with some good stuff, and this new year, I'm excited to see what they got.
Yo, it's going to be straight fire. Some devices and features, because I don't want to say one or the other. With Buzz TV, it's hand in hand. They've dropped some fire devices and some amazing features that are always taking things to the next level. We also have been in talks with Omni Labs Robotics, bringing their telecommunication devices and robots to the next level, bringing everybody closer together.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, their telepresence that you get is very cool. If you guys don't know what telepresence is having a pretty much a robot in front of you where you are remoted somewhere else, and it's like you're there physically, but not really physically. You're there through the robot. It's very cool. Make sure you guys check them out in the description below. Make sure you guys do check out that link.
No matter what you do online, you stay protected. There's so many VPN services out there. We talk about all the time. Make sure that you guys try them out. You check them out. See which ones work best for you.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys do check out those VPNs. We do have a couple of them that we recommend in the description below. So make sure you guys do get those. Just get protected, guys. So don't forget to check out the description below for all of these guys that we have shouted out today.
You know, no matter where you guys are listening, watching, whatever from, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, that like, drop us a comment, and the reviews actually help us a great deal. If you're looking to do anything for us in this year coming and beyond, the reviews help other viewers like yourself find this podcast and enjoy it as well. So thank you guys. And with all that being said, let's start the show.
And we're back with our weekly news of Beyond the Streams. And Next Level is a hell of a more awake than I am today. I'm still, you know what? I got my energy drink. Not sponsored by.
Hell yeah.
And we're doing our thing. So we've been looking at some stuff throughout the weekend, and a couple things came up to mind. It's funny that we like run into things and then we tell each other like, hey, check this out. We're like, hey, this is kind of cool. One thing that Next brought up to my attention, which I thought was very cool. Ming Na Wen. I didn't even know what her name was. I always knew her as Melinda May or Agent May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So
But let's be realistic. I think a lot of us found out about her as May. We didn't know who she was before then.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I've seen her in a couple other things beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I know with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm just like, oh, that's cool. She's here now. But I always try to put my finger on like, where did I like remember her from? And one of the things that right now I was looking at this thing, I'm just like, oh, there's a TV show called ER. There is a movie back in the 90s called Street Fighter. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to remember now a couple things. But if you guys don't know, Ming Na Wen, or as I like to call her, Agent May, she did the ultimate hat trick that nobody thought would be possible. She literally did. She was a Disney princess. She was the voice of Mulan back in 1998, and this was actually before Disney owned Marvel. Years later, and we're talking about years and years later, 2013, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she became a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was also just recently in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. And Amazing in every single one of those roles that you just mentioned. Brilliant. I loved her in all of them. Um, it's crazy how she can play such a strong character in every single one of those roles.
Agree. Agree big time. I will say this is, if you guys don't know who she is, just look her up. I'm pretty sure you've seen her in Ages of Shield, and I'm pretty sure you've seen her in um, Mandalorian and all that stuff. But I will, excuse me, I will say this. Now I'm burp, and now I'm having a, what's it called? Energy drink burps. I will say this with Agent May. Oh man, I started to lose my train of thought here. Um, yep, lost it. Completely lost it.
I think it's amazing how these characters can enter into a staple TV show and play year over year and really, I guess, find their ways into our lives as a reoccurring thing that we watch every day, right? And you know, when I told you about this originally, you were like, she's in the Mandalorian, and immediately the same thing that I thought. I was like, this Mandalorian, like just now Mandalorian, and no, she's been doing her thing for years. I don't even know when the original not Mandalorian, the original Mulan, when the original Mulan came out. That was a long time ago, but she played the voice of Mulan, the original one, right?
So, well, when you were just talking right now, I completely remembered right now what I was thinking of.
All right, let's go.
Gina Carano. Here we
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Gina Carano. So, there's going to be an episode coming out next week that you guys have to stay tuned. We did we like to do our breaking streaming news, and we did an update on some of the streaming community stuff. And Gina Carano was in the conversation. And one of the things that we were saying is, we kind of have mixed reactions on what that whole situation was. You just have to stay tuned to next week to listen to it. But this is what I will say. One of the things we talked about next was, I did not like Gina Carano as an actress. I don't think she's a badass character. I think she has a stupid smirk when she acts. Um I just did not like her. Like every now and then she had like, okay, this is cool. She's actually playing into the character, but she had a very cocky, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in Star Wars movies and TV shows. And she just had a very like I don't know, like she just didn't know how to act, and you could tell from Mandalorian. And you know what? I actually found it very annoying. I don't think I've said this. I did say I did not like her acting, but I don't think I said this part. Um I found it annoying to the point that I just wanted to smack the smirk off of her face.
Well, then you want to get into a fist fight with an MMA fighter. I see how this goes.
you know. But you know what? The thing is that you had um I'm gonna call her Agent May. I don't care what anybody says. Agent May was there also in that show, and what was amazing about it was she was a badass character also, and she played her role outstanding. Her role was like super good. She was trying to help out the other Mandalorian, and if you haven't seen the Mandalorian now, after it's been out and the seasons are done and it's over, that's your own fault. I would not spoil it if the season is during, if there's episodes right now, I wouldn't say a word. But now that it's over, you're SOL. Go watch it. She did an amazing job. Like when she was helping out the other Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
The way she was being very careful, and then the way she was being kind of sneaky about certain things, and the way how they're trying to steal the suit, and then fighting scenes, like everything just seemed like right.
Yeah.
It just seemed right with her role. Gina Carano was kind of like, it just had a smirk, and you're just like, I don't believe you that you are this. Okay, you have an MMA background. Who freaking cares? That has nothing to do with the Mandalorian. There's no such thing as MMA fighters in the Mandalorian.
Well, they're
Just
all fighters.
they're all just fighters. But some people
They're
were kind of
starfighters.
like, yeah. And you know what? Some people were very like, oh, it's awesome that an MMA fighter is now transitioning into the movie world or TV show as an actor, actress, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I don't give two craps about what her background is from. She's playing a role, and is she playing that role properly? For me, I thought it was horrible. I think they could have gotten somebody else that was a buff, strong woman that knows how to act. I think Disney kind of jumped the gun a little bit too much when they brought her in with such a young career role as an actress. And Agent May, I think, did a badass job. I can't wait to see what they do. That's all I got to say about that.
I mean, I slightly disagree with you, but I mean, everyone's entitled to their own feelings, how they interpret or they perceive character roles, and how they feel when we're portraying these roles to us, right? I actually enjoyed Gina's roles as Cara Dune. I thought it was pretty good, but I mean, I will agree with you when you say um, uh, Ming. Is her name Ming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ming.
Ming. I do agree that Ming is a seasoned and experienced actress. She's been around a very long time. Um, from things that I didn't even know, like getting into Mulan and becoming a voice actress first, and then getting into a lot of the other stuff. I'm sure there's probably a lot of movies and stuff she was in that I didn't know growing up, like you were mentioning some of them there. But just I loved how they built up her whole character in Agents of Shield. How she started with absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry if you haven't finished Agents of Shield. It's been done for a while. I'm sorry if I break anything or if I ruin anything for you, but she started with no powers and then she got some. Okay, I'm not gonna say what, but she got some.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how they built up her personality, and everything just flowed with her. Like even when she got her powers, it was like, okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right. She was already a badass before. She didn't need any powers. Because I've seen some of the debates online. They're like, you can't call her a superhero. She didn't have no powers. Like, you don't need to have powers to be a superhero. Look at Batman.
Look at Hawkeye.
Like a Hawkeye, right?
Look at Black Widow.
Right, right, exactly, right.
So whoever said that.
So, this is actually something that I saw while we were having this conversation right now. But there's actually okay, so they were classifying her as a Disney princess or a hat trick, right? Because she was in Mulan as Disney, and then she was in Star Wars, and she was in Marvel. So there's another guy, right? I'm not going to call him a Disney prince, but there's another guy by the name of Donnie Yen. And Donnie Yen, who some people might know as IP Man, was also in Iceman in 2014. And he was also in Mulan as Commander Tung.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in. So hold on. He was in Star Wars 2. Star Wars. What did he play in Star Wars now? Shoot. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Was he a stormtrooper with NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys?
Hold on.
He
I
was
gotta
probably
find
one
this.
of them.
I just drew a blank because I knew that he was in there. Now I just can't remember what it was.
Here we go, guys.
Star Wars Rebels. He was a voice.
Oh, the cartoon.
Actor. Yeah, voice actor for the Rebels. He was Chirwit Imri.
Okay.
So he was a voice actor. So I guess the worlds are so large when it comes to animations, TV shows, movies. Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns this, that, and the other thing. People are going to be getting a lot of roles if they play their cards right and they don't post on Twitter, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to see a lot more of people working for many different studios within the same house.
Yeah, for sure. Now you were bringing up something about an iPhone. You're showing me something about some kind of foldable iPhone thing here.
Okay, so when I first saw this, I was like, the release date of Apple's first foldable iPhone might have just been released. And I'm like, okay, is this coming out soon? So then I started reading more down. It says the rumor has been reported and we might see it by 2023. And I'm like, man, that's like 2023 still sounds like so far away. But it's not. Like we're already technically what, almost a quarter into 2021. We still got about 2 more years, but it's going to be interesting when this comes out, because I have a couple. So here, I'm going to read through some of the reported rumored specs, and then we'll kind of discuss the market, or where I kind of see this fitting in. So it says that the handset will be reported featured a 7.3 to a 7.6 inch OLED display and have some kind of stylus. Now those pictures that we have up on the screen right now, if you're watching the video, these are just rumors. It may not even look anything like that. It could fold a completely different way. A lot of times these rumors come out in regards to patents that are being filed. So a lot of people online will dish up some rumored specs and render it across. Recent reports said that Apple is testing several foldable iPhone concepts, exactly what I was just saying, indicating that the launch could be still several years away. And I think that's why they're speculating 2023. I kind of wanted to bring this up and see what your thoughts on it was. Do you remember when tablets were first a thing and they started off as a 7-inch screen?
Mm-hmm.
They were literally a 7-inch screen. The bezels were like an inch thick all the way around them. And now we have phones like the Note, because you use a Note, right?
Yeah.
And the Note's a pretty big screen. We're looking at almost a 7-inch screen on the Note, are we not?
Yeah.
So we are getting to the point where, the phones that we have as a regular are the size of tablets that we were using when tablets first came out. Do you remember when Samsung came out with the Mega? There was a huge phone that Samsung came out with, and they called it a Mega, but it wasn't like a top tier phone. It was like a 7-inch phone, and that's when they started dubbing the word phablets. And these phones were like in between phones and tablets. But I'm kind of curious to see, are we going to start seeing more of a transition where we transition to more foldable phones, that we get bigger screens in our hands but smaller form factors in our pocket, and we start to transition more to things like Chromebooks? Because what we drop the 7 and the 8-inch tablets, and then we go to 10 and 12 inches, but we add the form factors for a keyboard and stuff like that. And we kind of take more of a mobility on the go, of having a computer with us. And then our media consumption is done on our phablets that are going to be 7 to 8 inches on a foldable screen.
But how successful has these foldable phones have been? Because I don't like everywhere I go, I don't see anybody with a foldable phone. I think I saw one person. I saw one person on YouTube say like, "Oh yeah, look, check this out, like my foldable phone." And then he puts it right down to his other phone. He's like, "Yeah, I have this every now and then. I carry it, but I normally use the other phone." But it's kind of like the flip phone. The flip phone died years ago, years and years ago. Like, who the hell has got a flip phone nowadays? It's like saying, like, look, guys, I have my Palm Pilot. It's like, really? Still got one of those? And to me, it seems like, okay, it's a cool idea to have the actual glass fold, but who actually has one, and has it really been successful? I'm like just looking at this thing. Samsung was the first one to do it, and there's
mainstream, yeah.
Well, Samsung is according to this, Samsung is at the forefront of foldable phone development right now.
Yeah.
And then Hawaii and Motorola are trailing behind. Huawei. What did I say? Hawaii?
Hawaii.
I just saw that and I just looked. I'm like, that looks like the word Hawaii.
I need to have you check for dyslexia there.
I need to go to Hawaii is what I need to do.
But okay, so I'm gonna throw something at you and see what you say.
Hawaii?
I'm not throwing Hawaii at you. You're not getting a trip from this episode.
Damn it.
Well, maybe the next episode, so stay tuned. No, I'm joking.
Stay tuned. Guaranteed.
Prior, I mean, I don't want to admit this either, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Prior to AirPods, were people spending that kind of money on wireless earbuds? On an average. I think that, so the reason I'm asking this, and I'll kind of explain it because I'm sure that you'll debate it or you'll have something to say about it, but Apple is really good at something. They're really good at getting people to spend more money than they would have on a product in the past, right? And you'll see that foldable phones, yes, Samsung is leading the forefront with it now, but the reason we don't see more people with it in its pocket is because it's over $2,000. The people who do own the Fold 2 love it. We've talked to Digital Slang, he loves it. The people who actually own it love it, but it's not mainstream yet. And some reason Apple has this marketing power that they can take things that are really expensive and tell everybody that they need it in their pocket.
Okay, when did the AirPods come out?
Oh man, I don't know. Long time ago.
If you're gonna ask me a question about AirPods and not know of when they came out, I have to know when so that way I can compare it.
2016.
Okay, so in 2016, I'm trying to think where I was at. I think I was working at the hospital. I was using wireless headsets, not earbuds, headsets. And I was probably using wireless headsets since 2000 and maybe 10 or 11. Not earbuds, because earbuds, I don't think they had any wireless earbuds yet, but wireless headsets.
Okay.
I know they had Beats, they had Takashime, there's some Japanese ones. They had several different ones. And I remember the first ones that I used was a Japanese brand. It was a and you know what? I actually I have it right here. Like one of the first, like, dude, I kept buying this brand because this is the first brand, Nakamichi. Wireless. This not this one in my hands, but this brand was the very first wireless headset that I bought way the hell back then, and they were great. When so for those of you that don't know, I used to be a musician. I used to teach music. I used to tour the States a lot, actually. I would typically take off like around May or June and not come back until August, sometimes September. Like I was gone. And that was the headset that I used everywhere that I went. When I was writing music or, when I was just performing or whatever, those were the headsets that I used. So I was kind of, and you know what? All the musicians that I had also with me, were using some kind of wireless headset. When the earbuds came out, remember and I talked to Digital Slang and Hefe about this. I've always said I've never been able to find a good earbud that fits my ear unless it goes around the ear,
Right.
And it hangs onto it. That was because of the AirPods. When the AirPods first came out, I tried it and those things were just popping out.
Right.
Everybody that I've known that says they hate earbuds that they just stick in there is because of the AirPods, because they don't just fit, they pop out. And it wasn't until I would say last year when I started getting these headsets that were coming in, these earbuds. I'm just like, oh wow. I'm like, okay, the rubber around the bud matters. It depends on how you put it in and like all kinds of stuff. So I started getting into the different types. So I don't know with the AirPods.
Okay, but understand the question though. So after 2016, we started seeing everybody with these little white sticks in their ears, right? And though I didn't buy them, but a lot of people did. It was
I didn't see everybody.
It was a lot of people that I saw in my area. I
saw everybody with Beats. That's who I saw.
Okay, well, Beats too. Let's say Beats too, because they ended up buying out Beats, but
not AirPods.
when they launched these, they were $159, and Beats were around the same price, if not more expensive. Prior to Beats and prior to the iPods or AirPods, people that I knew, and even myself, I wasn't spending $160 on a pair of headphones. Nah, that wasn't me. I wasn't putting that kind of money in. But now we're looking at them releasing their new AirPod Max for $500, and people are going nuts. People were never that nuts about audio and headphones years ago. For some reason, Apple has this way of dropping over. I hate to say overpriced because I'm not trying to devalue their company at all. As much as I disagree with some of their stuff, I'm not going to try to be mean. I'm not going to be Mark Zuckerberg right now. But
they're overpriced. Screw Apple.
but they have a way of setting a certain price and making it a standard, right? I don't think that if the AirPods could price themselves at $160 or $250, that Samsung would have such an easy way of coming in and pricing their buds at similar prices off the bat. For some reason, I just don't think Samsung has the same marketing power that Apple does in the current state. I mean, I like Samsung better than Apple, but there's just a difference when it comes to the Apple ecosystem, the Apple customers, and marketing. I think there's a difference between the two companies when it comes to that.
Yeah. Well, to each their own, I guess, right?
Okay.
India to ban crypto.
We're dying today.
India to ban cryptocurrency investment completely. Now, this was just recently, big time. This is nuts. So, as some of you guys know, Bitcoin passed 50K this last weekend, and it's not going to stop. I've actually had arguments with people telling them by the end of the year, Bitcoin is probably going to hit 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And people are telling me we'll be lucky if it even hits 50,000. And I'm just like, it's predicted to hit 50,000 in the month of February. And I actually called this back in November of 2020. And it actually happened. And I was like, holy crap. So India is looking to ban them. Just want a quick take here. The Indian government is said to be levying a complete ban on crypto investment. Existing investors will reportedly get a 3 to 6 month transition period for liquidating their investment. So anybody that lives in India, you have 3 to 6 months to sell your crap and cash out or move out of the country. You know, the government is not gonna allow it. It looks like this is now gonna be official. The ban won't be imposed overnight, according to the official, who said the government would give a 3 to 6 month transition period for existing investors to liquidate their investments. So they're looking actually from what I was reading before was of creating their own crypto. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to allow the rest of the world to buy. But it's pretty much going to be like, okay, India, you guys want to buy? Here, you can buy. We'll allow everybody else. Now, that's such a bad... I'm not going to buy India. Screw that crap. I ain't going to buy it. If it's not a global thing for everybody to get, like... If they make it for everybody to buy, but only the Indians are allowed to buy their own stuff and not anything else, I don't know. For me, it's too much restriction. It's too much. It's like the Canadian dollar or the US dollar or what? No, we already know Canadian dollar is worth like 25 cents.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, what they're doing is they're trying to make it a real currency. They're trying to control it, and they're trying to say, like, you can trade from whatever currency you got to our currency, but they don't want it a world currency. which crypto is heading towards that.
Yeah,
And
decentralized.
yeah, and the one thing I will say is there's been some people that have said cryptocurrency is not real money. Last time I checked, you could use Cash App to buy it. PayPal is now accepting forms of it. And when I invest money into it and when I pull it out and I have more money, that seems like it's money and I'm allowed to buy stuff.
So just to add really quickly to what you're saying, I had this debate with somebody last night, and
Oh
they're
boy.
like, cryptocurrency is not tangible. And I was like, really? If I would have bought $100 worth of Bitcoin years ago when it first came out, today I could literally take that same $100 and buy a Tesla with it without having to convert it to cash before doing that.
Yep.
If I can take that and purchase a tangible item with it, does that not make it more tangible than ever before?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
People need to realize way back in the day when there was no freaking currencies, when there was no papers, I shouldn't call it currency because there's always been a currency of some sort. When there was no paper, currency back then used to be what? Silver and gold.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I don't know, rocks,
Well, it was more of a barter system.
bread,
It was a barter
food.
system.
Yeah. So there was always a currency for something.
But even after silver and gold, right? The paper currency came that represented gold. But then the gold disappeared. So then what did the paper represent?
Yeah. The United States of America.
Cryptocurrency, right? It's all representing something that's either virtually or imaginary there, right? Because it is what it is. Like if someone was to tell me, oh, cryptocurrency has no value, I don't expect something that's worth $52,000 to drop to zero.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see that. I have to accept that with companies like Apple, MasterCard, Tesla buying into, and there's a bunch more like Square, Cash App. There's a bunch more that are investing millions and billions of dollars into cryptocurrency. If they're putting their assets into this form, I have to believe that there's some kind of longevity there. They know things typically before us regular people do.
Mm-hmm. They know things.
They know things. Now, the other thing about okay, so here's some other. I was doing a lot of research last night just for the fun of it, right? But I started thinking, and I was like, if India goes the way of China, because we talked about this before, right? They've already started limiting some of their access on the internet, right? You need a VPN to get access to certain things. Now they're starting to shut outsiders out. That we've seen it with some of the social media stuff, how they started their own social media applications, replacing TikTok and whatever else. And then now we're seeing that they're banning cryptocurrency. Did you know that the top 100 richest people in India all have over $1 billion?
I believe it.
That's like pretty insane. Do you imagine all those richest people in the world? And I think the richest person has $75 billion in India. If they were all to pull out of global markets and only invest into the Indian financial sectors, into things like their own cryptocurrency, and how much of an impact that would have on the global economy. We're talking about 1.3 billion people, where the top 100 people in that country have over $1 billion.
Now here's the thing, it could also flip. Let's just say they say, okay, let's put all of our money on there, and then nobody buys, and then all of a sudden that thing crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Billionaire my ass.
It's just it's crazy. So talking about things that are crazy, there was an image that was leaked on the internet, right, of Steve Jobs, one of his first job applications coming out of college. This was handwritten I know you guys can't see it on the audio, but we'll put it up on the video. You guys are always welcome to come check out the videos. They air a day after the actual audio comes out, but it was handwritten on a piece of paper, a job application. I think Steve Jobs was ranked one of the richest people in the world, right?
Yeah, at one
So
point.
1973, he comes out of college and he hand writes this application. And I started thinking, I'm like, what is this? Who's handwriting a job application? And then the date shows 1973. And I was like, well, what computers were around in 1973? I guess he had to come around and start creating computers too, right?
Well, this could have been a typewriter too.
Could have been. I had a typewriter growing up. I thought it was badass.
I had a typewriter. It's funny because I'm just looking at this thing and it says driver's license ? Yes. Yeah, 1973. Position desired. Blank. Birth date 1955, February something. Steve Jobs. It has an address. It said something college. Phone number none. Manger. Oh, way on a manger. Major was English. Past employment blank. Previous blank. Reason for leaving blank. Everything blank blank. Skills type blank. Machines, computer, yes. Calculator, yes. And it says designed in parentheses. And then it just says special interest. It's kind of hard to read it, but something about digital is what I read. But I thought it was funny. It says, what? Access to transportation possible, but not preferable. Okay.
Can you imagine if you could write a resume that just said yes or no to these possible things?
It's like access to transportation. Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Amy, I move. I don't know.
So this is going for, well, the last time it sold, it went for $175,000.
Yep.
Which is crazy. So we'll see how much this thing's going to end up in. It's just, if you have money to throw away on crap like this, why?
What is with this last year? Like, we're talking about people in a lockdown, finances are a little questionable, but over the last year, we've seen things sell for some astronomical prices. We've seen the world's most expensive game being sold and then it being topped a few months later. We've seen shoes. We've seen now this for $175. Like, people are like, we're just sitting at home. We're going to spend all our money on memorabilia. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. It's a trend. It's trending in 2020, 2021. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I think it's cool and all to have certain things, but I guess if you get to a certain point and you don't have any expenses anymore and you want to remember certain things, or if you think it's some kind of investment, you think, like, how do you even value something like this? How do you look at this piece of paper and be like, you know what? I think this is going to be worth $1 million 1 year. Who makes up these values?
Well, if it's an auction, people are just outbidding each other. Like, the highest bidder is going to win no matter what. So if I'm like, hey, I just found, or okay, I'll do this. Check this out. So for Christmas, Next Level got me a Michael Jordan card. I know it's kind of hard to see it, but Michael Jordan card. This is a 1990 Flair Michael Jordan number 26 mint 9. And this they had a couple of these cards out there, and he was able to get me one of those, which is pretty badass. So thank you.
Wow.
Here's the thing. Let's just say every single person with this card, and by the way, it is in a plastic case, a hard plastic, and then it's a soft plastic around it to cover the hard plastic. But let's just say everywhere in the world, whoever has one of these lost it somehow, or it got damaged or whatever. And I have the last card ever, right? If I said, hey, I'm going to put this for auction, people are just going to start going like, oh my gosh, Michael Jordan, the greatest player that ever played the game. they're gonna start bidding. Like fanboys are gonna start bidding on stuff like this. And what's gonna happen is once they get to a certain bid where nobody has enough money now to buy it,
Mhm.
highest bidder wins. Now wait another, I don't know, 5-10 years, do the same thing. You know, and the price is just gonna go up. People who for the Steve Jobs thing, it has to be like some sort of fanboys or people who are like, ooh, this is pretty neat. You know, 175,000. You know, it's somebody that of course has some stupid money just to throw away, but it's, I don't know. I guess it's part of history because he created something.
And his company
So
is now worth over $2 trillion, I think, too, right?
yeah, and here's the thing: why doesn't Apple not own that?
That should be on their wall somewhere. I think, yeah. So maybe that's the play. Maybe they buy it for $175,000 and they sell it to Apple for 500 or $1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million. Maybe that's the play.
I don't know. Maybe.
But for myself, let's be real. I have trouble with memorabilia because it's like me buying a chocolate bar and not eating it. Like, what? Am I just going to leave the chocolate bar in this wrapper and just stare at it all day?
So when we were kids, we were huge on Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And my two other cousins, so they call us the Three Amigos. We were all born in 81. I was in May, my cousin Rich in June, and then my cousin Will in September. We were just months apart from each other, and we were like inseparable. Like growing up, we were just inseparable. So they called us the Three Amigos. My cousin Will, the youngest one out of us three, would constantly get. If you guys know what KB store is, KB stores, they used to exist back then. I don't think they exist anymore. He used to go there for his birthday every year. He was very stingy, like his dad, my uncle, with money, and he would go and buy the Ninja Turtle figurines. And he, like, okay, remember back then with the Ninja Turtle movies?
Yeah.
He bought every single type of Ninja Turtle that you can think of. Like Pizza Man Ninja Turtle, Samurai Ninja Turtle, like going to the beach Ninja Turtle.
I had
Like,
the ones you wound up and they swam in the water.
yeah, dude, like all of them. He has every single one of them. He even had Shredder. He had the brain. He had the like the dome. Like he had everything. And me and my cousin Rich were like, dude, like, why are you gonna open this up and play with it? Like we knew back then, one day this is gonna be worth stuff, and you have the complete set. He wasn't missing anything. So it's almost like you with your chocolate, like, hey, am I gonna get a chocolate and not be able to eat it? Well, he was like, I'm gonna play with my toys. I'm not gonna leave it in its box. He would grab as soon as he got his Ninja Turtles, he would play with them. He had boxes upon boxes upon boxes of Ninja Turtles with all the accessories and everything. He got to the point, I think, when he was like maybe in his early 20s when he stopped playing with his turtles. And he started putting them up for display.
Uh-huh.
And at that point was when a light bulb went off and said, wait a minute, why did I open this stuff up? So he started collecting like old school, like Twilight Zone figurines, um, the what Freddy Krueger, Jason, like all those murderer characters.
Yeah.
He would get the figurines in its cases, and he would hang the whole case with the thing on the wall. He had like I would say like out of the 4 walls in his room, 3 of them were full of that. And then the other one was just full of shelves with all the turtles and DVDs. Like, and then he still had boxes and boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you were to go to his place now and be like, hey, dude, where's your turtles? He's got them. But it's one of those things that is just like, oh, if you just still had them in your case, bro,
Mhm.
complete collection.
It's crazy. It's almost like we have to have that mindset growing up, because I look at things like Pokemon cards, right? And my son used to collect them when he was a kid, and I had a couple when I was growing up too, but I used to, collect them to sell them. But he used to just collect them because he liked Pokemon. And then when he lost interest, we actually took all of his cards and we taped them to his wall, and it covered the whole wall of his room. But then after the fact, you're like, some of these cards are actually worth a lot of money, and we just tape them all to a wall. You know what I mean?
I did we had an episode, if you remember, with I Just Watched, and towards the end of it, I was showing my cousin the comic books and he was like, "Holy crap."
Yeah.
I had a couple of those comic books that I was collecting since I was young, and I knew I think I was in junior high when I really started to get really into it. The cards also junior high. I knew back then, I'm just like, I don't want to have them out. I want to save them.
Uh-huh.
And I had that mindset in junior high. I was just like, no, some of these cards are going to be worth. And I have them now, and people are like, "Holy crap, you still got that?" I'm like, I sure do. you know. So I want to move on with this next one, and I know some of you uh, MacBook Pro lovers are going to like this, but check this out. Upcoming Apple MacBook Pro could feature a flat edges similar to the iPhone 12. With Apple's own in-house chipset receiving positive feedback from customers, the company is now said to be working on more powerful Mac products. We already know that at least two new notebooks are coming. The MacBook Pro 14, the MacBook Pro 16 are expected to arrive later this year. Today, they have some more information regarding this new design of upcoming MacBooks. So I gotta say, looking at it, it does look kind of cool. I am definitely in the market to have a laptop with me, because sometimes I don't want to be stuck in the office. I just want to be downstairs or outside and just work on stuff without being in the office. Am I going to get a MacBook? Probably not. It's probably going to cost about $4,000. It's going to be expensive. Now for all you people who are hardcore MacBook lovers, iPhone lovers, iOS lovers, you guys are probably gonna love it, because it's the design is very sleek. It's very nice. It looks super cool. And from what they're saying is, they're receiving a lot of positive feedback. Now, the positive feedback, I'm pretty sure it's from their own. It's within their own ecosystem. What I would be more interested is somebody like me, that I'm just like, hey, I don't know what to expect. Give me a MacBook Pro before this new chipset. Let me play with it and see. And then with this new in-house chipset, let me play with the new MacBook Pro, and I'll give you my honest opinion about it. I'll let you know what I think. I'm not I'm not on their ecosystem. I'm not in their bandwagon. Nothing like that. I actually don't like their stuff.
But you can install Windows on a MacBook now, can't you? Not you can, right?
I don't have a MacBook.
No, but I'm pretty sure you can. So if they gave you this with Windows on it, and you could actually feel it and use it like a Windows laptop, that's when you would get like some I guess hopefully unbiased opinions on the build quality, the performance, all that kind of stuff.
Maybe, but their stuff is the way they're building it now is specifically for their stuff. So I would be interested on how their stuff works. Now, I've played with MacBook Pros before, MacBooks. I played with Apple products before. I'm just not a fan. I've just never been a fan of their stuff. So
I'm a lot like you. I've never really been a fan of their stuff. However, I can't deny that a lot of the people who bought their recent MacBooks with their M1 processors are saying that they're pretty damn good, and they're fast and they're snappy, and their quality has really gotten up there. I don't know if I can break loose from Windows and from Android, and and doing everything that I do with those platforms. But there's a lot of people that use this stuff and they use it for production and all that kind of good stuff. And all the power to you. If it works for you, it works for you. And if it's working better for you because of these implementations, I just thought this was kind of funny when I saw the picture, though. I was like, is this the foldable iPhone that they're talking about? Because it looks like an iPhone. If
Yeah.
an iPhone could fold and it had a keyboard, that's what it would look like.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I mean, it's just good when companies keep upping their game and they keep pushing that bar, because especially Apple, every time we see Apple do something, we see Samsung do something. And every time we see Samsung do something, we see Hawaii do something. That's a clip reference joke there.
Hawaii.
Huawei. So improvements is good for the market. It's going to be good to see what kind of stuff we have coming forward. Yeah, I'm always excited to see what changes are coming out. Speaking of things and changes that are coming out, when the PS5 was released, and this guy over here got one, he was raving about the headset. He's like, I think they call it the Pulse.
The Pulse, 3D Pulse.
Pulse 3, right? You were like, you have to get one of these. Even if you don't get a PlayStation, get this. It's going to be worth some money because people are going to be looking for it. And it's like next level headset, and it does all this and that. It makes you pancakes in the morning, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, can it really do all that? Is it really that great? And then I seen an article and they're like, oh, Xbox is coming out with their headset and it's going to be just as good, if not better. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So Xbox is coming out with their own headset. Looks cool. I think it looks pretty dope. I have the Xbox Series X and it's the black and green, so it looks very uniform, like it belongs. Looks like it has some really nice, comfortable cushions, and the microphone folds right up. That's not necessarily anything new. Let's see. It says the black and green over-the-air headset has a retractable microphone, PU leather ear cups, and a metal inner headband. The edges of the ear cups are rubberized rotisserie dials. Oh, sorry, rotary dials. I'm thinking chicken already. Used to adjust the volume and the game chat balance. The overall aesthetics have been designed to be intentionally understated to allow it to blend into the surroundings alongside the Xbox Series X and S consoles. So it's also going to have Dolby DTS, 3D audio, Windows Sonic, and Dolby Atmos. So this is supposed to give you that real surround sound. So I'm not going to try to say that I'm some kind of expert in headphones or expert in all of this crazy stuff. What was some of the things that the Sony Pulse was so good that was it that surround sound?
Yeah, the way the 3D Pulse had it, it was like within the cup, you could hear like very specific parts of your ear of where the sound was coming from. It wasn't like just one dimension where it just came in and there's your sound. The way they had it sounded like a surround sound, like 3D. It's nuts. It has all the same stuff that they're talking about, with Dolby and DTS, all that stuff. But the only thing I would say with the Pulse that I did not like after using it for a couple months now is that when it sits very tight. And with the gold headset from PlayStation, I typically would just take one ear off.
Yeah.
And I would have one in, one off. And, that way I have one ear to listen. With this one, you have to have both ears in.
Right.
If you do take it off, it just feels a little weird,
Okay.
And I'm used to taking one off. But that's the thing. If you do have them both on, it feels comfortable. But after a while, when you take it off, you're just like, oh, like I need a massage now. Like it's a little tight. So I wish with the 3D Pulse they did a little bit different where they could expand it, or just change the comfort level a little bit. It was like that aspect. I think they could have done better when it comes to the sounds and the features and everything.
freaking amazing. Like that headset is just badass. I think just because of the comfortability, I sometimes switch back to the old headset.
Mhm.
Only because I could take the ear off, but there is a massive improvement when it comes to sound when you have them both on the new one, on the 3D Pulse. With this one with Xbox, my first impression, like when you were telling me this, when you're just like, yeah, it should be hopefully as good or better. They're kind of like hopefully we get there, maybe we'll see. I'm like, come
Well, I
on,
mean, that's our opinion, not theirs. If you ask Xbox directly, you'd be like, "Yeah, we're the best out there." How do you mean?
yeah, but okay, when you read this article from IGN and they're just like, yeah, it's going to retail similar price point and it's going to be somewhat equivalent at the same price and it's going to be similar to the PS5. All they're doing is this is what they're doing. Here's the PS5. Here's Xbox. Okay, we're going to try to get there. We're going to try to get similar. That's what's happening. They're not coming out saying, "Look, you could change this. You could do this, something that PS5 doesn't." I don't care. I don't care if it's one little stupid thing. I don't care if it's one tiny thing. The thing is that the way that it's being compared is similar to the PS5. They're not setting a standard, they're not setting their own platform, they're not doing nothing with it. This is going to be more of course, if you have an Xbox, this is what you need to get. We have our official Xbox headset. I've been able to play with the PS5's Pulse on my computer. I've been able to sync it up to different things. And I'm like, this is pretty badass. Like, I'm using it for multiple things. With Xbox, and I know this is just a marketing thing. If you have the console, you need to get the headset. It's like if you have a console, you need to get the remote. It just goes hand in hand. I just wish they would have done something where
They have done something here that I think is pretty interesting. My son will probably use this feature a lot, but they're saying that you can actually sync it to more than one source simultaneously. Now, my
Mhm.
son is infamous for having his phone in his hand with his earbud attached to his phone and somehow putting a headset on his head for his Xbox. So he's listening to Discord or whatever group or chat group, and he's playing a game and he's listening to the game audio and he's trying to do it all at the same time. So I will say that feature
but
is kind
that's not new. That's not different.
of,
That's
well, I don't
that's
know.
the thing. You're not selling me on something. Hey, look, we could do something different. It's been done already. It's been happening already.
Well,
That's
how
the only thing. That's the only thing. It's not groundbreaking. Like this is groundbreaking. When Xbox came out with their camera back with the 360, they're like, look at the I forget what their camera was called. Like, look at the 360 camera, or was it? No, it was an Xbox One. It was a 360. Um, they had this camera that picks you up and knows everything what you're doing, and it was like it syncs it up so much better than the PS3. It was just doing stuff it wasn't out there yet. That was a standard. It came out late, exactly like this, with a standard. Like, look, boom, this is what we can do that PlayStation's not doing. And they didn't even have to say PlayStation's not doing. It says, look, it does this and this and this and this and this. And you're just like, I remember like that was the reason I was that close of not buying a PS4 because they were the ones that were setting a trend. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait until the PS4 comes out and they start announcing stuff, and then I'll make my decision. The reason why I did not go with Xbox is because the guy who invented that camera, they fired him and PlayStation hired him. And I was like, Xbox, you lost me. I'm out.
Are you being this hard on Xbox's headphones because they're coming out after PlayStation's headphones? Like if Xbox came out with their headphones first and then PlayStation was announcing their release of their headphones now, would you think that PlayStation would have to do some kind of groundbreaking feature? Well, that's the only reason, right?
If you're going to be late to the game, if you're coming out with a console, okay, it's like freaking Master Chief. Where the hell are you? The new console is out, and your flagship game is not around.
He jumped too high. He's not coming back.
He ain't coming back. That's the thing. People were so hyped about these consoles, and the flagship game was not there. What?
I'd debate Master Chief still being a flagship because I think Gears of War took that over. I'm just saying, hey.
Maybe, but where's Gears of War right now? Exactly. That's the thing. If Gears of War came out on launch, you have an argument to make.
Well, there's Gears 5, but that it was still available on the previous console. But what if they just take the headphone and they do it really well, but they don't give you a new feature? Like they do it better than the PS5 with the comfort for you, but they don't give you, it doesn't brush your teeth or something. I don't know.
To me, this thing looks like with the big old stick sticking out. It just looks like a cheapo. It looks like it looks. Well, I shouldn't say cheapo. It looks like any other. It looks like any other headset. Do you know how the Pulse looks like?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pulse looks very different. Actually, PlayStation's headsets looks very different than from any other headsets that are out there. They don't got that big old freaking dildo sticking out into your mouth.
Wow. Well, then I wasn't going to take it there. Anyways, if anyone's looking for this new Xbox headphone, it's going to be available to purchase on March the 16th.
I'm just saying, if you're going to be late to the game, come in with a bang. Don't try to slide into my DMs and be like, hey, I'm here. Hey. No, come in with something. Dude, that green thing, like the green thing around the Xbox, you know what would be cool? If that thing was lighting up like a glow.
Doesn't it?
Doesn't look like it. Just look, it looks like the Xbox console where the top part is just green. It's just green, doesn't do nothing. It's a plastic thing inside of a plastic thing. Come on. You can't put a little LED light in there just to make it like pulse or something? Like, can't you do something, Xbox?
Do you imagine if they ended up calling it the Xbox headphone pulse or something like that just because it had the pulsing LED? Oh man, that would be hilarious.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. Like right out the gate, Xbox had their console along with PlayStation. Xbox said there's going to be this really expensive remote coming soon, like a pro remote that's going to be expensive. PlayStation's like, hey, here is the pro remote. We're not making a whole bunch of remotes. It comes with the badass remote, period. Especially those, I told you about it. When I was using the triggers, it felt like I was shooting a gun. Like you actually felt the trigger. Like I was so immersed into the PS5's remote. It was insane. I was like, dude, this is nuts. This is crazy. People were making videos about how cool all the new features were. We really didn't get that much from Xbox. And see, this is why I get so passionate and so angry at Xbox, because if Xbox doesn't do something wow, PlayStation doesn't have to. PlayStation would just be like, well, let's try doing this. Cool, this works. You know what I mean? Thank God that so far PlayStation's done some badass stuff. I'm just saying, Xbox, come on. Pick up the slack. When's Master Chief coming back down from the jump? Maybe this year, maybe not. So the last thing I want to bring up, and sorry for everybody that's listening to the Xbox rant for the last 12 minutes. Elon Musk and Doge.
Dogecoin.
It's Doge.
Dogecoin.
So Elon Musk, look at this. Elon Musk urged top holders to sell their Doge coins, offered actual dollars if they do. And I think his tweet says right here, I will literally pay money if they just void their accounts. The meme the meme Doge cryptocurrency actually might start holding some value pretty soon. It's starting to. It wasn't even worth a penny last year. And now I think not this last weekend, but the weekend before, I think it got up to like 7 cents or 8 cents, and I was like, holy crap. I know I put some money in on it, and it jumped up, and then it jumped back down to like a nickel, and I'm just waiting. I'm just like, I'm not doing nothing with it, because if Elon Musk is offering some of these people a sick amount of money, so that way he could own it and then pump that sucker up to freaking Lord knows how high, I have a feeling Doge's gonna go up pretty good, dude. I don't know why. I have this weird feeling that Doge's gonna go to like maybe $100
to the moon.
Now, okay, do the math real quick. We've done Miss Bittersweet totally like screwed us over, so I hope we have a calculator this time.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so if Doge is worth Doge, all right, for next level's sake, if Doge is worth 5 cents, and I put $500 on it, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. If it's worth 5 cents and I put $500, if it goes up to 10 cents, how much money do I got?
Well, it doubled its money, so then you got it. Yeah, you doubled your money. You got $1,000.
I got 1,000. Okay, so I'm trying to make it easy for you. Okay, 10 cents, $1,000. It goes from 10 cents to $1. How much money do I got now? 1,000 to what?
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
Okay. If it goes to $1, I got $100,000 now. If it goes from $1 to $100, my $1,000 goes to what?
You're on the moon.
How much is it? $1,000 to what? Is it a million or 10 million?
It's a million.
A million?
Yeah.
I hope Elon Musk does take it up to $100.
So the real reason, though, he's saying this to the people that own it's the people that own the most amount of the coin. He's like, I will buy you guys out just to get out of the cryptocurrency. So to give people a perspective, Dogecoin has a balance of $36.8 billion, and that makes up 28.6% of all of the circulating cryptocurrency, which is a lot.
28%? That's a lot.
It's a lot. But I think the reason why it's not going up in value is because it's concentrated by a few people who own a lot of it versus a lot of people owning an equal amount or an equivalent amount of shares. So Elon Musk is saying that this cryptocurrency is supposed to be the cryptocurrency of the people. So we need to get it into the hands of more people, and we need to make it so that it makes more people a lot more money. Now, I have a couple other reasons I think he's doing this, but I don't know if I want to go into that whole conspiracy theory thing right now. But I think that's the real reason. I don't know if I believe the stat where it says that this is 28% of all circulating supply of cryptocurrency. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know.
Because I feel like it should be worth more if it was 28% of all cryptocurrency, because this is one of the cheaper cryptocurrencies on the market.
Well, it makes sense if only a few people own the majority stake of it, that it wouldn't be worth that much because not that many people are trading it. So if he's saying that, hey, I'll buy you guys out, I'll give you, yeah, because if you think about it, if these guys own so many of these coins and what was the cap on it?
I don't know if there's a cap, but it says that there's 36 billion that's invested into it so far.
Okay, so 36 billion amongst a few people. If he goes around and says, "Hey, around, you know what? For all you people that have invested, that's up at the top, do you think they might own at least a billion each? I don't think so. Not on a meme crypto. But if he goes around and says, "Hey, you know what? I'll give you 10 people a billion each."
Okay, so maybe this is it. The circulating supply is 127 billion. So it's probably 30, what did I say? 28, 30 billion?
28, 30, something like that.
Something like that. Of the 127 billion. That's still a lot left to purchase. I don't know. I have some other conspiracy theories as to why he's doing this. Because every time he mentions Dogecoin, it moves. People buy it, right? If people are buying Dogecoin, they're not buying Bitcoin. And he's invested $1.5 billion as Tesla into Bitcoin. And companies, I'm just going to say it, but companies are investing into things like Bitcoin in my perspective, in hopes that it goes down right now so that they can claim a loss as tax sheltering within the first quarter of this year. So I think that there is going to be something that's going to be happening with cryptocurrency where it goes down a little bit and then it goes back up. And I think that's going to be affecting a lot of these companies and their tax sheltering. But in order to get cryptocurrency like Bitcoin to go down, you need them to sell and possibly buy something else. So he's just doing a smoke and mirrors thing, if you ask me. But hey, what do I know?
Even if he does, I don't really care what he's doing.
Right.
If he puts Bitcoin, if he puts Dogecoin up to freaking
$1.
$1, hells to the yes for me. That's all I care about.
Right.
You know, I hope he pushes that up to $100 because the reason why I was saying $500 at about a nickel is because that's how much I have. So I hope he does get that to $100 or more. And if you have somebody like him, like investing in it and moving it around and stuff, it should get up to $100 pretty easily. That would, and then everybody who said, "Damn it, I should have bought into it." Like there was literally no backing for Dogecoin, and we've been talking about like there is no backing behind it. But if Tesla, Elon Musk himself gets behind it and said, "Well, look, this is what we're going to do with it." Now we have backing. Now we have something to hold on to, be like, "Okay, cool, let's see what it does." So fingers crossed, hopefully that thing goes to infinity and beyond. Literally. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Weekly News. We're trying to give you guys what is going on week to week, and there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming. Sometimes we miss a couple things. Leave us a comment or a review. Let us know if there's something that recently dropped. Leave us a comment and we'll do some research, and you never know, we might be talking about it next week during one of these podcast episodes. Now, we did record just recently, and we made an announcement on that one on what we're going to do. But if you are also listening to the very end of this video, we are going to be doing a live podcast episode starting. Here we go. And write this down in the comment section below or leave a review so that way everybody can see it when we're going to be going live. It's going to be a live show starting the 25th of February, Thursday. And it's going to be every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The video is going to be live. And then if you missed the video, if you're just like, "Well, I missed the video, am I still going to get it on the audio side?" Of course, you will get it the following Monday. So for every Thursday's live show video, the following Monday is when you're going to get the audio. So March 1st will be the audio. Now, with that being said, some people might ask like, "Hey, well, isn't March 1st or the first of the month always your what the hell happened? Yes. It's just going to be tweaked a little bit. It's just going to be a day late. It just depends how the month falls. So for this one, it's going to be the next episode. So I'm excited. It's going to be cool. We've been taking a break from our live shows, so we're coming back.
In an all new series on Beyond the Streams.
Oh shit. All right, guys. With all that being said, stay tuned to the next episode. You don't know who's coming. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
See ya. Peace.
Peace out.